guys, it's Steven and Fendi from WhiskerBarrel. In this video, we're talking about a craft distillery that my wife and I got to visit while we're in northern Michigan. While we're up there, we're invited by the Iron Fish Distillery to tour.
Let's try that again.
We're invited by the Iron Fish Distillery to tour their farm distillery.
If you screw up again...
Iron Fish is a distillery that goes above and beyond what you would expect from a craft distiller. If you've seen my videos, you saw that I tried their bourbon finished in maple barrels, and that bourbon really surprised me. I thought it was going to be way too sweet and like the other maple bourbons that I'm not really fond of. However, this one was bourbon forward, and it wasn't too sweet, just a tiny hint of maple. And in that video, I even mentioned that I need to try the barrel proof version, and you sure enough know that I tried it when I got to visit the distillery. My wife and I had such a great time, and I cannot wait till the time I get to go back. So grab a glass, enjoy the following video of our tour, and at the end we'll paw into the whiskey that I just had to bring home. Oh, excuse me, the bourbon that I just had to bring home. And we'll also whisker into some details about Iron Fish Distillery. So enjoy. Alright guys, here we go. Welcome to Thompsonville, Michigan. Just a little southwest of Traverse City. This is the home of the Betsy River and the steelhead trout, and that's what this mural depicts, the great fly fishing they have up here. So we have to turn down this long dirt road to make it to our destination, but I don't mind it because it's just so beautiful. Now there you have it, the Iron Fish Distillery. I just love the fun vibes this place gives off. There's just so much room for activities.
Aerobics in there, so many activities.
Sitting on 120 acres of land, the Iron Fish Farm is also MEAP certified, meaning that they give back to the earth as much as they take from it. They are very environmental conscious, they have solar panels, they even have a place for you to charge your EV car. 82 of the acres are currently being used to grow this Hazelett rye, which they primarily use to make whiskey. Now during our tour, we found out they actually took a lot of research into finding the perfect rye to use within their mash bill. They also have a community garden, which they use for their scratch kitchen menu, cocktails, and even the employees that don't have space for a garden can use the space. One of my favorite things about this distillery is how they refurbish everything from the original farm, from the chicken coop to this farmhouse built in the 1800s, which you can actually rent as an Airbnb. And you know no tour can start with that little pre-game sample, and this is Iron Fish's take on a traditional Quebecois, which is a Canadian cocktail.
So we renovated the barn for events, 4 or 5 weddings a year.
We had the great privilege of having Jeff Eddington, the production manager of Iron Fish Distillery, giving us a tour.
There's a lot of cool stuff we found around the farm. I really want to show you our grain buster here. So this is an original mill. At one point, this was the only mill in Nancy County, back in the early 1900s, late 1800s.
It hasn't been released yet, but they have made a whiskey using this machine, and they rightly called it the Grain Buster. So something to look out for. Now, I don't want to give you too much because I want you to experience this place for yourself, but Iron Fish Distillery has been ramping up production. They've been getting new stills. Their focus is on making quality product and experience and not just production. They're doing a lot of unique things, and you really have to come check it out and hear it for yourself. As we continued our tour, every once in a while, one of these bottles will pop up to join the party, and we'll get to taste more of their lineup. Gotta give a shout out to Scott Greiner, the maple syrup and handyman guru of Iron Fish. As well as making their own whiskey, Iron Fish loves to experiment with finish and source whiskey. They have a variety of different barrels, from rum barrels, sherry barrels, cognac, you name it.
year on our anniversary, which is Labor Day weekend. It's going on, it's going to be the 8th anniversary this end of August. We have Joe Smith, the pros Nest Barrel guy in Grand Rapids. He comes out and actually builds a barrel at site. You know, he does the fire in the shower, and, you know, does everything. And if you're here, you can sign that barrel, and then we'll fill that barrel. In 4 years, bring that barrel out, and if you can point out your signature, you can have it.
And at the end of the tour, we were able to come to the gift shop, and we sampled a few more items in their lineup. And it was an interesting time for me trying to decide which bottle I wanted to bring home, because I could only bring one, and there's just so much good options to choose from. Don't forget, after the video, you get to see what I brought home. I really love this wall with the staves and the steel head. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next tour. I hope you enjoyed that video. This is what I decided to bring home from the distillery. This is the Mad Angler Bourbon Whiskey. And you know, I can't go to the distillery without coming home with Glencairn with their logo on it. Those are the two things that I grabbed from the distillery. But before we paw into this whiskey, I do want to talk about the event that Jeff was talking about when he was showing us the barrel with all the signatures on it. Iron Fish Distillery's 8th year anniversary is coming up, and that is August 29th to September 1st. And they're having a big celebration that weekend. They're going to have live music, they're going to have food, they're going to have festivities for the kids, and they're giving 25% off their tours. So it's definitely worth making a trip there if you're able to. Not only that, Iron Fish Distillery has a whiskey club. And in that club, there's a lot of benefits. Well, I'll talk about, or I'll have in the description. I'll get them to you. But one of those benefits is during that weekend, they're going to have a whiskey club reception. And I believe part of that reception is what Jeff was talking about. When they create a barrel, the cooper comes and he creates the barrel on site. They pour the whiskey in, and you get to sign your signature and try that whiskey whenever you try that whiskey straight from the barrel whenever it's aged. Now, that's something I definitely want to try. I'm not going to be able to go this year, but maybe next year or a couple years from now. But it's definitely worth looking into. And if not, it's definitely worth making a trip to the distillery just for the celebration stuff. So let's paw into this whiskey. What you think, Fendi? So immediately I get a malty corn vanilla wheat. Now that's super unique. It's very like caramel candied cereal. I really pick up the combinations of the rice spices, the clove, but also the wheat and corn give it that sweetness. So it's like it's a spicy sweet flavor. The finish is so pleasant. Not a lot of ethanol feel. The finish is just, it's so complex. There's like burnt sugars, the toastiness of the barrel, maybe a little vanilla coming from the wheat. The mash bill for this bourbon is 70% corn, 16% wheat, 9% barley, and 5% rye. It's important to note that the ingredients that they use are organic and also sourced from local farms in Michigan. It's 90 proof. Now, the reason why I had to grab this bottle is the Mad Angler series is bourbon that is, or whiskeys that are 100% distilled and aged and bottled by Iron Fish Distillery. They have different variations within this series, the Mad Angler. They have their bourbon whiskey, they have a rye whiskey, but they also have a bottled and bond version. This is, I believe, batch number 3. They're on batch number 4 now, and what's great about batch number 4, and I wish I would have gotten my hands on it, I was just a little too early for it, but the batch number 4 is aged 5 years. So they definitely market that one a lot. So there's not a lot of information about the batch number 3, but I'm so glad I bought this bottle. It's exactly what you want to look for from a bourbon from a craft distillery. There's nothing like this out there in the market. You can't compare it to all those big companies. It's on a level on its own, and it's so good. I would definitely buy this again. And I'm definitely going to enjoy this bottle. This is definitely something you guys got to try. If you want a sample, reach out to me. Maybe I'll be able to send out some samples. I got some sample bottles, and I could definitely let that happen. And please, like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. If you want to see more of Fendi, continue to join us on our journey as we try other craft distillers. What you can expect for the end of this year are some live videos, some live bourbon hunts, and we're gonna work on pulling up a Patreon and getting some merch out there. I'd like to thank Iron Fish Distillery for inviting us to their tour, and hopefully we can visit again. We can't thank you guys enough. We really appreciate you. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we hope you have a perfect day.